Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 106 of Cameron Sports Podcast. This is your host here, Cameron Lindsay, and I'm back here with a brand new episode. Today's episode, I'm going to be making my scheduled prediction for Michigan's football team for the 2025 college football season. Like I said, my last college football episode I did was predicting Oregon's 2025 schedule. Now I'm on to Michigan. So let's get right into it. First off, let's start off with, of course, Michigan just got handed their punishment by, the NCAA. Tron Moore gets, I think, suspended a game or two. They got fined, I think, $20 million. But they don't have no postseason ban, so that's a whole nother topic. But that will probably factor a little bit into their season, maybe. But like I said, Tron Moore is their head coach. This will be his second season as a head coach of the Michigan Wolverines after Jen Harbaugh moved on to my Los Angeles Chargers last year. Their starting quarterback is still unknown. It's between the freshman sensation Bryce Underwood or Fresno State redshirt sophomore transfer Mikey Keenan. So the starting quarterback position is between them two. I watched the spring game. I ain't gonna lie. Mikey King didn't play. I don't think he was there yet or he was hurt. One of the two. But Bryce Underwood, he struggled a little bit. So the starting quarterback position is up in the air. In my opinion, I mean, it probably would be Bryce Underwood, maybe because of the NIL they're paying him. That's how they got him to flip from LSU to Michigan. So, but they might go with a little bit more experienced quarterback like Mikey Keenan, maybe to give Bryce Underwood a little bit more time to develop before he takes over. They might could do that. We'll see. But last year they finished 8-5 last year. Not too bad. First year after Jim Harbaugh moved on to the NFL. So they had a pretty good year. And they defeated Ohio State in the last game of the year. That's pretty much their national championship right there. Michigan's last two games last year, they beat Ohio State 13-10 in Columbus. The same Ohio State team that was loaded with talent, with Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Emeka Ibuka, Travion Henderson, Quinshawn Judkins, Jack Sawyer, and Caleb Downs. That same Ohio State team that had them players, or still have some of them players, Michigan beat again for the fourth straight year. So that was their national championship. And then in the their bowl game, they beat Alabama with the Jalen Milroe, with the Ryan Williams. So Michigan looked the end of the season pretty good last year. I'm not gonna lie, like I said, I did not see them beating Ohio State last year on the road. I ain't gonna lie, I thought Ohio State probably was going to manhandle Michigan, manhandle Michigan due to the fact that, Michigan losing Jim Harbaugh, Blake Corum, J.J. McCarthy, losing a lot of pieces on that team. But, they ended the season really were good. So let's see how their 2025 season goes right now. Week 1, they played at New Mexico at home. That's a cupcake win pretty much right there. I already got them down as a win against New Mexico. Now here, that it gets challenging, week 2 for Michigan. They go on the road to SEC school, Oklahoma, in Norman. Now, Oklahoma had a rough year last year, but they got some, they lost a lot of receivers. They got hurt, some transfers, but they got a really good transfer quarterback from Washington State. He looks like he's going to be the real deal in Oklahoma. And due to the fact that Michigan is going there with a new quarterback, they're losing their 2 top defensive players in Grant and old buddy, the defensive tackle that went in the first round to the Cleveland Browns. Both of their starting Mason Graham, yes. Grant and Mason Graham, their 2 first-round defensive tackles that went in the first round in the 2025 NFL Draft. They lost them. So it's going to be interesting. I got them as a loss, Oklahoma. It could be a close game, but I think it's a loss. If it was at home in Michigan, maybe I would lean towards Michigan, but I'm going to Oklahoma. So that's 1-1 right there. Week 3, they're at home against Central Michigan. They bounce back from Oklahoma. That's an easy win. Week 4 at Nebraska against Dylan Raiola, second year quarterback, the sophomore Dylan Raiola, and their head coach. Dang, I forgot his name. I'm gonna remember after this. But yeah, Dylan Raiola and that team. It took me a while to think about this one, but I'm gonna give Michigan the win. I think Michigan just gonna have the better roster than Nebraska. Nebraska should be better. I think they probably will be better, but I'm getting the win to Michigan right there, and they'll be 3-1 heading into the bye week 5. Coming off the bye, week 6 at home against Wisconsin, I'm giving the win there. Week 7 at USC, maybe a little bit tricky. But I'm giving the win right there. Like I said, I just don't trust Lincoln Riley in that defense. That might be a close game, but I'm giving Michigan the win there on the road against USC. At home against Washington, I'm giving them the win. Week 9 at Michigan State, in-state rivalry, I'm giving them the win right there. At home against Purdue, easy win. Then they get head into the bye again. So to the second bye, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're 8-1 to the second bye. Coming off their second bye, week 12 at Northwestern, easy win. Week 13 at Maryland, maybe a little bit challenging. Maryland seems like they have a little bit of talent, but I'm going to give them a win there. Now, week 14, they're 9-1, and they host Ohio State at home. Again, the past 4 years, they've beaten Ohio State. Last year, they surprised me getting a 13-10 win against Ohio State. Ohio State had more talent, but they still came out with the win. Now, I know Ohio State still don't have a starting quarterback. They losing a lot, but they still got 2 of the best players in the country, and sophomore wide receiver Jeremiah Smith and their junior safety Caleb Downs. And I just think that like I said, it's going to be another close game, but I might have to go Ohio State. Ohio State might finally get Michigan this year after losing to them 4 years in a row. So I'm going to go with a loss here to Ohio State, and I think Michigan will finish with 10 wins, have a really good season, going 10-2 for the Michigan Wolverines. Now, as far as them replacing the players, they lost last year, tight end Colston Loveland, who got drafted by Chicago Bears, Marlon Keelan, Hogan Hansen, Max Bredeson. Those are the players that are replacing Colston Loveland in the tight end room. Colston Loveland was a first-round pick by the Chicago Bears. So those are some of the tight ends that are going to replace him. In the offensive line room, they were basically replacing majority of their offensive line. Greg Crippen returning, Evan Link returning, Giovanni El Hadi returning, Andrew Balaloa, if I'm pronouncing that right. He's a freshman, so he'll be new. Avery Ganch, freshman. Their defensive line, some players are returning. Rashawn Denny returning, Derek Moore returning, T.J. Guy returning, Dominic Nichols returning, Cameron Barrett returning, Evan Ita returning, Trey Williams transfer from Clemson, and Damon Payne from Alabama. So they got a lot of players returning on that D-line room and a couple transfers. So I mean, they may be solid on the defense side of the ball, even though they lost their 2-star defensive tackles. I just think that with the quarterback position, it may be a little hard. I mean, Ohio State has the same thing, so I think it'll be a close game. I think Michigan will have a good season. Possibly have a chance to make the college football playoff. Like I said, they went 8-5 last year. I got them winning two more games than they did last year. So I got Michigan going 10-2. Let me know in the comments what do you have Michigan? What any in these games you disagree with me, agree with? Who do you think is going to be the starting quarterback for Michigan? Either Bryce Underwood or Mikey Keenan, transfer from Fresno State. Do you agree with the punishment Michigan just got from the NCAA, getting fined $20 million? Sherrone Moore going to be suspended for I think at least a game or two. And Jim Harbaugh, even though he's probably most likely never going to coach college football ever again, I think he's got a 10-year ban or something. I I got look back into that, but yeah, we'll see. Let me know in the comments, what do you have the Michigan Wolverines? If you're a Michigan fan or if you're not, let me know in the comments what you got. But I appreciate each one of y'all tuning in. If you want to touch down with Cam, please click that subscribe button, please, so we can get 300 subscribers before the end of the year. We slowly going up. If you know somebody, tell them, hey, I got my friend, nephew, or cousin, somebody. Subscribe to Cameron Sports Podcast and help him get to 300 subscribers. I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, touchdown with Cam. Click that subscribe button. Turn on post notifications to stay updated. If you want to watch the episode right away, it's going to be up there regardless. But I'll catch y'all next time for another episode of Cameron Sports Podcast. This has been your favorite host of your favorite sports podcast. And I'm signing out. Y'all take care.